New information tonight after a corrections officer near Columbus was killed by an inmate on Christmas Day. The director of the state prison system can tell us. And the nation is saying goodbye to the 39th president, Jimmy Carter. More on his life and the legacy he's left behind. That's straight ahead.
And wet and windy weather ahead for your Sunday evening. Tracking those showers moving on out, but the wind ramps up. I'll have your full forecast and a look at the new year coming up next. Michael.
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's kick things off with our top story. The country is saying goodbye to former President Jimmy Carter, who made his retirement a remarkable second act dedicated to philanthropy and faith. The nation's 39th president faced several health challenges in his later years, but pressed on with a joyful spirit. CBS has more.
Former President Jimmy Carter marked a century in 2024, celebrating his 100th birthday with family in Plains, Georgia, at a backyard military flyover honoring his service in the Navy. Almost a year earlier, he said goodbye to his beloved wife of 77 years, Rosalind, draped in a blanket embroidered with their images. The former peanut farmer turned governor of Georgia was elected president in 1976. His one term in office saw the highs of negotiating the Camp David Accords, bringing peace between Egypt and Israel, and the lows of the Iranian hostage crisis. After leaving office, his human rights and social welfare campaigns helped earn him the Nobel Peace Prize. For decades, he built houses with Habitat for Humanity.
Morning, everybody.
And drew national crowds to his Sunday school classes. Late in life, he battled a series of medical challenges, including cancer, a broken hip, and surgery to relieve pressure from bleeding on his brain. The longest-living former president spoke to churchgoers about his own mortality.
I didn't ask God to let me live, but I just asked God to give me a proper attitude toward death. And I found that I was absolutely and completely at ease with death.
To the end, Carter led a life of public service that impacted and inspired millions. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
We continue to follow news out of Monroe County, where the sheriff's office says one of its deputies was involved in a shooting yesterday morning. According to authorities, they responded to 2 calls Saturday morning for a suspicious person. The first call came in around 11 a.m. in London Township. The second, a half hour later in Exeter Township in the city of Mabee. We're told at that second location, a suspect started assaulting a deputy, leading to the deputy then fatally shooting the suspect. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says the deputy was injured and taken to the hospital. Those injuries are non-life-threatening. The incident is now under investigation, and we'll keep you updated on air and online as we can continue to learn more details. We have an update on a story we've been following out of Columbus. No weapon was used in the brutal assault and death of a corrections officer by an inmate, according to the director of the state prison system. Inmate Rashawn Cannon was serving a maximum 6-year sentence on a weapon and assault charge. Authorities say he brutally assaulted 62-year-old CO Andrew Lansing, killing him. Our sister station WBNS has more on what we know about the incident so far.
ODRC Director Annette Chambers-Smith called the inmate accused of killing Andrew Lansing pure evil. She says Lansing had volunteered to work overtime on Christmas so others could have the day off.
My heart goes out to the Lansing family. They're in my prayers.
Director Annette Chambers-Smith emotionally recalls Andrew Lansing's positive impact. For 24 years, she says the 62-year-old did his work at Ross Correctional Institution with a smile. On Christmas morning, she says inmate Rashawn Cannon veered off from his unit on the way to the dining hall, found Lansing in his guard shack, and brutally attacked him without using a weapon. This report from the Ohio State Highway Patrol says he suffered severe head trauma and a brain bleed.
No one should have to go to work in fear.
According to Union President Christopher Mabe, Cannon had made some sort of threat at the prison earlier this year.
The threat that was made that the union reported, was it directly towards Andy Lansing, and how was it made?
Andy Lansing did write a conduct report, which is a notice of bad behavior on inmate Cannon in April. And it had, I think, 3 charges on it: disrespect, threats, disobedience of direct order. He was found guilty of 2 of those, not all of them.
Director Chambers-Smith could not elaborate on the threat any further. She confirmed the union's claim that the institution is short about 40 positions, but says staffing was not an issue on Christmas.
Every post that was supposed to be filled that day was filled.
The ODRC director also responded to calls from the union that she should step down.
I understand anger. I understand the need to make sure that this never happens again for anyone who works here. I understand the union's position.
As for the threat and the other events leading up to the attack, the ODRC is working to put together a report about the suspect's history at Ross Correctional. The director tells us that could be available for us to review as soon as Monday. In Columbus, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
A Manchester man is in police custody tonight after receiving mental health treatment after firing shots at a Michigan police station this morning. It happened around 8 a.m. at the Saline police station. The 39-year-old was reportedly suffering from a mental health crisis during the incident and fired 3 shots from a pistol at the building. Big changes are coming to the Buckeye State in 2025, with a list of new laws set to go into effect. Starting January 1st, the minimum wage for non-tipped employees will increase to $10.70 an hour. There will also be a new law requiring public schools to accommodate religious beliefs, allowing students to take up to 3 excused absences for faith-based activities. That will also go into effect on January 1st. Looking further ahead into the new year, by July 1st, all public schools must implement a cell phone usage policy to reduce classroom distractions, with exceptions allowed. Ohio is going to welcome in a new U.S. Senator in 2025. That's because Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has to leave his Senate seat to head to the White House. Right now, it's still not clear who Governor Mike DeWine will appoint as a replacement. That announcement is expected in early January. The new senator will serve the remainder of Vance's term, which ends in December of 2026. There will also be some new rules and eyes on Michigan roadways in the new year. Speed enforcement cameras are coming to Michigan construction zones starting next fall. This is all part of a new state law to crack down on reckless driving. Michigan State Police say there were more than 8,000 crashes in construction zones statewide last year, resulting in 24 deaths.
We know distracted driving has a major cause of these accidents and these fatalities within work zones. I think if a driver is aware of a camera that is detecting their speed, they will become aware of many more things that are going on within that work zone.
For a first offense, drivers will receive a warning. A second offense will result in a $150 fine, and a third offense will double that to a $300 fine. The U.S. Treasury Department says the country is expected to meet its debt limit later in January. The department projects sometime between the 14th and the 23rd. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns that when that happens, the Treasury will have to take, quote, extraordinary measures in order to pay the federal government's bills on time and in full. Meanwhile, Congress has stripped the IRS of $20 billion in funding. That means the agency's budget has slashed from $80 billion to just $40 billion over the past 2 years. Administration officials say the agency will conduct 400 fewer audits of major businesses each year and 1,300 fewer of high-income individuals. Well, one lucky player bought the winning Mega Millions lottery ticket in California this weekend. The winning $1.22 billion ticket was sold at a store in Cottonwood. That's according to local media there. The store owner says he doesn't have any details on who exactly bought the winning ticket, but he's happy it's put his store on the map.
We want to thank the community of Cottonwood for supporting our small business, and we're super excited about Cottonwood making national headlines and being put on the map.
The jackpot is the 5th largest in Mega Millions history so far, and nobody has stepped forward to claim this current billion-dollar prize. The individual has a year to come forward from the date of the drawing to claim it. For nearly 20 years, New York City's annual Good Riddance Day has offered an emotional release for anyone interested in shaking off the bad in hopes of a better new year. CBS News has more on the event. Take a look.
Yeah, doesn't that feel good?
Wiping the slate clean for 2025 is the theme for the 18th annual Good Riddance Day.
It was awesome just getting rid of that feeling, like just throwing it away.
These goodbyes ranged from medical treatments to conflicts at home, like 13-year-old Mason Riddle from Alabama who wants to get rid of arguing with his mom. Does it happen often?
Every day.
Mom Jessica Riddle agrees.
I mean, that would be great. He would argue with a brick wall, so.
She shares that raising 2 boys is not easy and is looking to rid herself of self-doubt.
As a single mom, I doubt myself every day as if I'm doing the right thing or if I'm raising them right. And I just want to enjoy life.
Some wanted to get rid of specific people. Others made lists, like John Pevsner from Brooklyn.
Trying to get rid of the negativity, toxic people, and a little money is good too.
You wish there was more room on there?
Yeah, why not get a little more?
Participants who braved the rain also seemed to want to get rid of procrastination, which was a popular one, along with, of course, hoping to rid themselves of financial worries.
I'm looking for a better job so that I can make more money, so that I could be wealthier like everybody else who banked on Bitcoin.
This might be personal, but what would you do with that extra money?
I would invest it, to make more money.
Participants don't only get to physically erase their good riddance messages, they can also see them dissolve on this screen right here.
We've burned things, we've smashed things, and this is the new rendition where we have a QR code. We're very high tech this year. You're able to scan a QR code and it'll go up on the screen.
If you still want to send your good riddance to the screen, it'll be up until midnight Monday morning. In Times Square, Christy Kalishian, CBS News, New York.
All right, and a quick reminder before we go, if you're taking down those holiday decorations, the city of Toledo wants to help. The city has designated Christmas tree drop-off locations until the end of January, and the best part, it's all free. After you drop off your tree, it'll be turned into mulch and compost, which will benefit local landscaping and gardens. To see the designated drop-off sites, head over to our website at WTOL.com. Want to see more breakdowns of viral trends and 60-second stories? Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. The weather with meteorologist John Birchfield.
Wet and windy conditions continuing for your Sunday evening, so keep that umbrella handy. It is going to turn breezy as the storm system passes on through, and west winds may gust to 40 miles an hour. Overall, the rain is going to be diminishing after midnight, giving way to a nice dry day for your Monday. Looking at a band of showers that is now exiting off towards Cleveland and Akron, and much of northwest Ohio is seeing some reprieve or break from the rainfall. The bigger picture shows you that initial wave of showers that produce some gusty winds now moving off to the east. However, in northern Indiana, we are seeing just some chilly rain showers that'll continue to impact your Sunday night as rain comes down and amounts to another quarter to half an inch. We have seen amounts in the ballpark of 1 to 2 inches between Sandusky and Norwalk down towards Mansfield, and the rest of northwest Ohio has seen amounts close to 1 inch. An area of low pressure directly overhead. On the backside of that system, some cold rain showers and also a gusty breeze on deck for the night. West winds may gust 30 to even 40 miles per hour overnight tonight. The hour by hour brings those showers out and over Lake Ontario, giving way to dry weather for your Monday. It is still going to be cloudy and damp feeling in the morning, but there's some indications that we could actually see a few breaks in the cloud cover and peaks of afternoon sunshine. It's not going to last long though, because another system rolls in on New Year's Eve, and that's going to bring us additional rain chances. Rain is going to be likely Tuesday morning. It is going to be a soggy New Year's Eve. However, by the evening, rain showers will be diminishing. On the backside of this system, though, some cold air could enable a few wet snowflakes to mix on through. So keep in mind for those New Year's Eve parties, it is going to feel chilly and damp in the wake of that system. Wind gusts really start to ramp up 30 to 40 miles an hour. Strongest winds are generally expected between about 10 p.m. and midnight, heading into the start of your Monday morning. Monday morning is still going to be breezy with wind gusts around 25 miles an hour. However, into the afternoon, the wind is gradually going to decrease with those winds down to about 10 to 15 into the afternoon. 46 degrees. It is going to be a little bit cooler feeling, but overall a fairly decent day. As long as you have that light jacket, we'll say goodbye to the rain with dry weather returning and a few glimpses of late day sun. Weather impact for tonight is going to be the wet and windy conditions. Monday, we are tracking fairly pleasant and comfortable weather, but then New Year's Eve, keep in mind that rain mixing in with some snowflakes late in the day could impact those holiday plans. We ring in the new year with a much chillier weather pattern. That bright blue color over the eastern United States shows you below average temperatures that are expected, and in fact the first not 1 but 2 weeks of January likely to bring below average temperatures and a much colder weather pattern. There is a 70% chance for rain on New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year Wednesday with dry conditions and temperatures that'll be down to the 30s, so keep in mind it is going to be a cooler start to January. By Friday and Saturday, high temperatures are down to the 20s, and snow lovers, listen up. Our next chance for any sort of snow showers comes in Sunday into Monday, although the details of that system remain yet to be determined, and the long-range outlook still staying chillier than average. We'll have more in your forecast coming up tonight on WTOL 11 News. Wet and windy weather for your Sunday night. With those rain showers ending, a gusty breeze develops and wind gusts to 40 miles an hour possible. Your full forecast coming up tonight.